Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you doing this morning?
Great. Who am I speaking with? What's your name?
My name is Michelle.
Okay.
And I just had a question to ask the fellow.
Sure. What's your question?
The question is care benefit when you get older. They have plans where you can actually pay before and then you can get life insurance. I just want a kind of general explanation what he thought.
Okay. Well, it sounds like to me what he purchased was basically what we would think of as a combination policy. There are many life insurance companies that do offer a program that has a long-term care insurance rider that's attached to it. And the idea basically here is that you give the insurance company a lump sum of capital, and what they'll do is they'll say, if you give us this money, that's a savings bucket. What it also usually does is it also creates a death benefit bucket, because we know that life insurance policies always have a death benefit associated with them. And then also there's what they call a long-term care bucket. So what occurs is that if that person becomes disabled or chronically ill, what they can then do is access that bucket, and usually it's multiple times what the actual deposit was put in for that purpose, and they can access that for long-term care purposes. And if they die, if there's any residual value in there, that can go to their families. And if they don't use it, well, then they've got a death benefit.
Okay. My State Farm agent contacted me about this, and
Okay.
I've talked to my financial advisor, but I understood it is you could either get the life insurance program or they have a deal where you can actually, just for your old age, to be taken care of, you know?
Right. It's a separate long-term care insurance contract. That's correct.
But I don't know if this is true, but State Farm says they are going to quit carrying that maybe in a few months. It's in the pipeline.
Okay.
Do you think that will still be available in the future?
Well, let me just say this to you. There are many companies other than State Farm that do offer this type of a combination contract. Lincoln National is one. It's called MoneyGuard. It's been around for a while. There are several other companies that also do this. I think what's important here is, in most cases, for most people, it's a good idea to consider when they're looking at their financial plan. It's great to hear you have an advisor about where this really fits in. Because what happens is when you take this lump sum of capital and you give it to an insurance company, you really receive no rate of return. I mean, the assets don't really accumulate at any value because you're paying for two things. You're paying for death benefits, right, and you're also paying for long-term care benefits. So your cash values aren't really accumulating. I have found in our practice working with folks is that most people generally can either, if they can qualify for long-term care insurance, they can usually, that cost is cheaper, less expensive, and they can also tailor-make it through an individual contract, which is what your advisor may be suggesting to you. Or alternatively, they also usually need that capital as a way to maintain and help support, in some cases, create income to support their lifestyle. So usually what we have found is unbundling is better than bundling. But I do appreciate your call today. And again, what I would suggest to you is keep talking to your financial advisor. He's the one that is on your side. And generally, he doesn't have an axe to grind in terms of a product like a State Farm agent. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your State Farm agent, because we use them as well for our homeowners, but it's a different situation. Jim's got a question about an annuity, I guess. Jim, good morning, and thanks for calling. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
My question about annuity